Here's the snapback. Here's the kick. He's got the leg into it. If it is good, and it is! Austin Starr, a 49-yard field goal, and Indiana leads 27-24.
Oh, it's an end around, one to throw. Page looking at the quarterback, and it's a touchdown! Page finds Leno! Penix rolling out of the pocket to his strong hand. Delivers deep down the field. Caught, touchdown! Fried Fogel again.
Brandon is using the baby excuse on week 1. Welcome to the LEO podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bragg. You can find me on Twitter at Braggley. That's Braggley. I am flying solo today. So go ahead and turn this one off and move on to your next podcast on the list. But I am here with my producer, Seth, as always. You can block him on Twitter at SayTop5. That's SETAH 5. What's up, Seth, though?
Yeah, you're flying solo today, buddy.
Yeah, like no research done by you today. So that's great. Let's just get into it, man. Let's just fly through it. Maybe the shortest podcast in the history of LEO podcast. So
You're welcome.
Yeah. So news update for the first time in 7 weeks. We don't have a commit to talk about. We do, however, have a new commit of the 2039 season, right? Or 2040 season. Brandon, new daddy-o. Not going to give up too much more information other than that. You can go congratulate him on Twitter at Brandon Dubich. That's Brandon spelled traditionally, Dubich, Dubich. And yeah, just, and give him shit for not being here. So let's get into it. This is going to be a lot of me just rambling about, non-important players from a non-important team. That's right. It's game 8 at Maryland. Coming off what should be a win against Ohio State at home. We have to travel to College Park, Maryland for a 12 o'clock kick. TBD. This is an August 30th game. So let's get into the history lesson. What's that?
October 30th.
What did I say? August?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is not having Brandon last minute. It's just throwing everything off. I'd rather play him August 30th than play him October 30th, just to get this out of the way. Previous meeting, IU wins 27-11 in one of the, I would say, ugliest games, but it was just weird. I don't know. Visually was kind of ugly. IU couldn't tell what jerseys they had on, because I think they were wearing camouflage, but I couldn't tell. And then Maryland, they're just always ugly. So, again, 27-11, IU beat the Terps in Bloomington last year. The all-time record, and this was surprising to me for some reason. I thought that we struggled against Maryland quite a bit. IU 7, Maryland 2. IU has won the previous 3 matchups. All of those not all of them against Mike Locksley, but he is in his 3rd year. 5-12 record in the Big Ten, and this is also a shocker. 8-43 overall. Like maybe he's coached 3 years. If he's played 51 games, he's coached a hell of a lot more than. I don't know. I'm telling you, I pulled this off of Athlon, their preview. This is pulled straight off of that. So don't get mad at me about it. Maybe that's his overall coaching record is 8-43. Either way, his seat is on fire. He's on the hot seat. He's got to have a good year. I don't see him having a good year, or else he's out. Anything you want to add on from Maryland? Do you guys even care about Maryland at Purdue, or is that even a thing for you?
Only in basketball.
Wow. Like, does they beat you in football too?
I don't know. There is nothing memorable about Maryland.
When Seth, I told Seth he was going to have to join, like actually be a decent part of this. He asked me what game this was, and I just sent him a Terp. And he said the exact same thing in text form. Like, there's nothing memorable about this or exciting about it. So
The
I will
8
try
and
to make it
43
exciting.
for Mike Loxley is overall, including his stint at New Mexico.
So he won 3 games at New Mexico? Or
Over
no?
3 years.
What? How
Something
does he
like
get
that.
such a long? I don't know, man.
Because he went to Alabama and became their offensive coordinator in 2018.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, that's a profile creator right there.
Whatever. All right. Well, let's get in. Let's stop talking about the coach. Let's talk about the players. There's really not a whole lot to talk about. I did a lot of research and pulled in as much as I could. So we'll go through it real quick. New feature, game 8. It only took me 8 games to start doing this. We're going to break down strengths and weaknesses of the offense and defense. So we'll start on the offense, and the strength of the offense is really the wide receiver room, but we'll start with the quarterback who's got to get them the ball. To his brother, do I have to say his name? Talia Tagovailoa. Yeah. 2020 somehow. He got 2020 honorable mention in the Big Ten. In over 4 games, he threw for just over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Just shy of 250 yards against IU, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. So not great. As I said, the game itself was kind of messed up. I mean, this was the game Penix tore his ACL. In the third quarter, it was, I think, and he was 6 of 19 for 84 yards. So big running day for us, big defensive day for IU this game. The next player that I want to highlight, at least from the wide receiver group, they have 4 really good players on that part of the offensive group. But Dante Demas is huge. He's 6'3", 215, but he looks 6'5", 240 of pure muscle. Like he's a beast. 2020 honorable mention, all Big Ten, and 2021 preseason all Big Ten. 6 grabs, 114 yards, and a touchdown against IU last year. So could be a force again this year coming back. I think this is his junior year. But again, I don't know why I even care anymore. It doesn't matter. Junior, sophomore, senior, he could be any of those at this point. So that's it for that. We don't need to really get in too much more on their offense. Their weaknesses are pretty much the rest of their offense. There's no mention of a tight end in this offense at all. The running back room, they lose Jake Funk. Totally, as a total last year, they ran for 5 touchdowns. 3 of them were Jake Funk. He's gone. 2 of them to his brother. So 0 remaining touchdowns, 0 comeback touch, 0 touchdowns coming back this year. So I don't know. They've got that one guy that's like a bowling ball. Penny Boone, I think is his name.
Right.
Other than that, it's a weird backfield. I think they've got a freshman coming in that they're kind of excited about, but nothing really to worry about there. Offensive line, they've got one standout stud at tackle, Jalen Duncan. NFL style tackle, definitely going to be drafted next year. They've lost 2 transfers, starting center, and I want to say it was the starting guard. And they also allowed the most sacks last year. IU got 3 of them in the game against them. So not, as you can tell by my voice, nothing exciting going on there at all.
Yeah, you can't be too scared or intimidated by that offense. There is nothing for you to be fearful of.
No.
I mean, if you can limit, and even if you look at Tua's brother's stats, the honorable mention in the Big Ten is more an indictment of the state of the quarterback in the Big Ten than it is any kind of compliment to his statistic capabilities, or even games played for that matter.
Yeah.
Played in 4 games.
Yeah, definitely. So like last year, you said not to be scared about anything. It was amazing. The way they came out to that game last year, marched right down the field, 13 plays, 63 yards, got all the way down to the 12, and then missed a field goal. And then from there on out, it was done. That was it. IU took a punt on their first possession, punt, and then touchdown, pick. Like, it's such a weird game. I think halftime was 7-3, and then after the safety, it just kind of went downhill for them, and they got a late touchdown to even make it anywhere respectable. So, yeah, the offense is not going to be too scary. Although at the end of the year, they kind of really turned it on. And if you remember the beginning of 2019, they scored like 100 and something points in the first 2 games.
Yeah, they were the
Syracuse
next
and
big
Howard.
thing for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think they got ranked for wins over Syracuse and Howard. They got into like the top 20, and then the next week they got like destroyed. Let's go over to the defense. If there is a strength on the team, or maybe anything to kind of be a little bit sketchy on, I guess would be the defense. 10 of 11 starters do return. They weren't great last year as far as overall stats go. Allowed 430 yards per game, 32 points per game, and only had 2 interceptions for the entire year. If you want to compare that to IU had 17. So that's just a reference. Now IU led the country, but then you can look at just how far down Maryland was with just 2 picks. 10 of 11 starters return. Some of the big guys, Mosiah Nasil Kite, I want to say, 2020 honorable mention defensive tackle, 2021 preseason All Big Ten already, led the Big Ten in sacks per game at defensive tackle. Big dude, over 300 pounds, I think. Career high tackles against IU last year with 8. So I would say that they're going to be decent against the run, but they weren't against IU. Stevie Scott, 24 carries, 80 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tim Baldwin's breakout game with 16 carries, 106 yards. And I would say Penix, but 2 carries, 29 yards. And yeah, we know what else happened. The next guy to really talk about, their linebacking core is pretty decent. They've got 3 standout guys. Ruben Hypolite, Ahmad McCullough, no relation, and Darrell Inchami, and we'll go with that. Either one. I apologize if you listen. Darrell has had some injury issues in his career. Last year played 3 games. Still, I want to say he got Big Ten honorable mention or something, or he made a Big Ten preseason. Didn't include it in the notes, but the kid is really getting some pro prospects out of playing 3 games last year. Ruben Hypolite, sophomore with potential as well. His first start was against IU, and he tied his career high in tackles with 7. So their linebacker core is pretty decent. They do have one really good cornerback, NFL caliber cornerback that was going to be a sophomore this year. So they're already talking NFL for him. Tarib Still. He's a 2020 freshman All-American, 2021 preseason All-Big Ten player as well. Led the country with 2 pass breakups per game. Did not play against IU. So if you have not heard that name, it's not because he was great, but he just didn't play against us. So that will be somebody to keep an eye on, as well as Nick Cross. You may remember his name. Pretty decent against us and against other Big Ten opponents. Another honorable mention player and another second team preseason All Big Ten. So that's it for their defense. Again, I'm reaching, man. I'm reaching to try to get something interesting to talk about here. As I take a swig of my drink. Hold on. I have nobody to fill. All right, let's hop right into key matchups. We're almost done already. First key matchup is Ohio State hangover. So when I say that, win or loss is what I'm talking about. So if we come into this game, if we think back, maybe the scores weren't always perfectly close, but at least going into the fourth quarter, we've always been really tight with Ohio State. Last year was, obviously came down to the last possession of the game. Win or lose, you have to go out. You cannot lose to Maryland. I know it's on the road. I know it's the Big Ten. You can't do it. You just can't do it. If we're going to be who we think we are, you can't lose them. You can't lose this game. So, and especially if it's a big if we beat Ohio State, this game actually scares the living, out of me. So this game, and then I'm looking at the schedule here, the Rutgers game, Minnesota game. I mean, I don't know, man. This is it. This is the one game that's like, if something's going to hop up and grab you to keep you from having an incredible season, it would be this one. The only other key matchup I have is containing to his brother. So he's not going to beat you in the pocket, as we learned last year. He was sacked 3 times, tons of pressure, was hit a ton, threw 3 picks. Some of them were just god awful. So just hold the edge, create pressure through the middle. They cannot run the football unless they develop something. As I said, it's going to be 8 games into the season. So they'll have 3 games of non-conference to kind of develop some sort of confidence in that part of the ball. And then hopefully they don't figure anything too crazy out by the time we get there. So that's it for key matchups. We are already to the least favorite part of the pod. So go ahead and hit skip a couple times. That should get you through the Monon Track Club. Monon Track Club is Indiana's running brand built on a deep love for the sport and the Hoosier State. Craft products, tell stories, and create experiences that aim to celebrate, support, and add to Indiana's running culture. Check out the link in the show notes to check out the new swag on mtc.com. It's monontrackclub.com, but I say MTC because that's what the kids are saying now. Just throw LEO10 in the promo code part. That'll get you 10% off. And that is gonna do it for this week, except nope, Seth is telling me that he has a Brando's Rando.
Producer Seth's podcast sack. We're dipping in.
Oh, we're dipping into Seth's sack. Okay. So new part. Seth is going to introduce his sack to everybody and reach in nice and deep and get some questions. What do you got, buddy?
Today, it's not a question I'm reaching for. Today, it's a fact. Here we go.
Ooh.
So there's not a lot to be afraid of the known quantities of this Maryland team, for what we can call known quantities at least. What is something to be nervous or apprehensive about is this will be the 8th game of their season, and they will have had a chance to have some of their freshmen potentially come up and play. They do have a fairly good recruiting class, top 25. In fact, I think it was even top 6 in the Big Ten. Tons of defensive linemen and linebackers. It was heavy on the front 7 defensively. And then they also had 3 tight ends, 2 of which were pretty highly, at least they seem to be highly thought of. One like NFL size coming out of high school. The other 2 seemed a little undersized, seemed like oversized wide receivers more than tight ends, but certainly some potential there if by week 8, those guys are starting to develop into playmakers.
Yeah. And that's what I said. I'd rather play them August 30th than
Exactly.
October 30th, because their schedule, now reading their preview, their schedule kind of hinges on the very first game of the year. They have West Virginia at home. And then they've got, so if they win that game, then they're going to have a little bit of a streak here because they should destroy Howard. Then they go on the road to Illinois, which they should be favorite. And then they've got Kent State at home. So they could start 4-0 going into the Iowa game, which is at home. I'm not saying that they're going to beat Iowa, but who knows? With, you build that kind of confidence and then have a packed house for a night game against Iowa. Who knows? Ohio State, that should be a loss at Minnesota. Who knows what Minnesota is going to look like? And then comes the game against the Hoosiers. So I'm hoping they start with an L, maybe get knocked off by Illinois on the road too. I don't know.
They could be coming in 5-2, 6-1.
I mean, best case scenario. What's the best case scenario? They're losing. I would say the best case scenario. They're 6-1. 1, 2,
I think
3,
Iowa's
4,
a tough
5,
pill to
6.
swallow for them. I don't
That's
think
what I
they're
mean.
to that level.
So best case scenario, then 5-2.
Yeah.
So playing for a bowl, and you've got IU, Penn State, Michigan, Rutgers.
And then all of a sudden, IU becomes a must-win for them to go.
Yeah, becomes kind of a toss-up. And I think at Michigan State and at Rutgers are not easy either. So you can't say that they can just look at those 2 on the schedule. So, so it's a tricky game. It's nothing I'm going to get too worried about until it comes up. We'll see where the teams are at that point. Again, we've been through our schedule 100 times. Right now, ESPN's given us a 63% chance to win, whatever that's for. Just to look at us real quick, we could come in, I think, again, best case scenario, we come in undefeated, but realistic scenario, best case, 1 loss. So we should be rolling at that point. I don't think it should be a problem. I'm more looking forward to next week, which is at Michigan. See if we can break that monkey. Is that a thing? Is that a saying? Can we break that monkey on our knee? I don't know.
No, I can confirm that's not a thing.
I don't know. Break the monkey, I feel like is like a thing.
Break the curse, break the streak, get the monkey off your back.
I don't know what the streak is because we beat Michigan, but we haven't won at Michigan for a while.
Get over that hump.
There, whatever.
Do some humping.
Yeah, put the monkey over the hump.
There it is.
So yeah, next week will be that. We'll talk at Michigan at the big house. Brandon should be back. If not, we will take his kid and then or something.
Prevent this from ever happening again.
Yes, absolutely. So, and I promise that we'll be a little bit better, or I'll be better next week because I'll have, somebody else that's better than this or at this than me doing this. Yeah, as you can just tell. There you go. So yeah, either way, be sure to check out the pod on Facebook and Twitter. It's facebook.com/LEO. And on Twitter, it's at podcast LEO. Also follow, download, rate, review. Please, 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 please do that. It really helps us out. It makes Seth's day a lot better. Even if you say like 5 stars, Brandon and Michael kill it, Seth sucks, any of that stuff, it just makes him feel a lot better about what he's kind of doing in the background. Again, we're on everything. We're on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. I said everything, but those are the only 3 things that we're on. So again, check us out. Follow Twitter. It's usually a bunch of retweets. You can follow me on Twitter at Bragley. Follow Seth at Setah5, SETAH5. And again, shout out to Brandon, a new dad. Shoot him a little Twitter tweet at Brandon Dubich. Brandon spelled traditionally Dubich, Dubich. That's it for this week. We will talk to you next week and preview the Michigan game. Until then, Elio.
Congrats, Brandon. Elio.
Yes.
Elio. Awesome day. Elio. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate that. Elio. All right, great. Elio. Appreciate you guys. Elio. You're welcome, Dave. Have a great day. Elio. Have a great day. Elio. Appreciate you being here with us. Have an awesome day. And Elio. Oh, thank you so much. Elio. Well, thanks so much, Elio. Hey, thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate that. Elio. Appreciate you guys, man. Have an awesome day. Elio. Awesome. Elio. Elio.